What's going on? All thanks for tuning in once again. Let's talk Garcia versus Haney. So basically, Garcia wins by majority decision. Just recapping on that fight, I mean, how did the judge give it 112, 112? That's the first question. It just shows, the corruption in boxing. I'm glad that Garcia got the decision in the end. It was a very dominant performance. It reminded me a bit of the Crawford versus Spence performance where, you know, um, people aren't expecting the champion to get beaten that much. Unfortunately for Ryan, this wasn't for the bout because he did miss the weight. He was overweight by 3 pounds, and you had to pay Haney basically 1.5 million just to continue on with the fight. And what a fight it was for him. He definitely redeemed himself from the Davis fight. Um, showed everyone what he's all about. With that left hook, and that was basically the change in the fight was that power and that left hook. Haney just couldn't handle that sort of power. And it was a very confusing one because they fought each other 6 times. Both guys won 3 times each. So you thought that Haney would be aware of that left hook, but it seemed like he wasn't. He wasn't really covering up that right side of his face, with the jab. We know that Haney does tends to drop his guard when he does fight, but you would think that against Ryan, against a guy that does have that money shot, that does have those quick hands, that explosive left hook, fast, off the mark speed, you would think that he would be very cautious with that punch, and he clearly wasn't, and Garcia was establishing his left hook when Haney was trying to establish his jab. Garcia managed to time him perfectly. He managed to land that left hook, more than one occasion. And I mean, that was basically the turnaround that Garcia needed. The confident boost that he needed against Haney was that when that first punch landed in the first round, that fast left hook. I mean, a lot of people thought it was over by then. Haney really did get rocked a lot from that left hook, and that was from Haney throwing a single jab. Getting countered from a left hook that's basically the speed of Haney's jab. That's how fast Ryan is, and that speed from Ryan was impressive. You could tell the difference, and I mean, regardless of him coming overweight, both guys looked like they were heavy in this fight. In the 150 between 150 to 160 pounds, somewhere in those lines. Who knows what they weighed, but Garcia just he was just the more superior fighter on the night. Haney um, just couldn't take that power. He couldn't um, fight fire with fire. Which he was trying to do. Which isn't him. He was going deep inside the pocket. He was trying to come forward against the power puncher. Um, hooking with a hooker. Basically hurting him with a hook as well. But Garcia's hook is probably 3 times heavier than Haney's. That's one of the best hooks in boxing. Is what Garcia has. In terms of speed, power, um, just a great punch altogether. And Haney was getting caught by it each time, getting hurt by it. Garcia knew that he had the power to hurt Haney after round one, and you know as the fight went on, around about round six, Garcia started letting his hands go a bit more, started throwing a lot more combinations. Haney was throwing in singles, trying to come forward, unable to stay low, unable to avoid Garcia's power, and he paid the price for it. He paid the price for it. I've got to say, both guys looked really bad. Deep inside the pocket, trying to box their way out of it. when they were clinching and things like that. You know, they looked really bad doing that. Doing that. Had Garcia had, you know, the ability to punch on the inside, he would have been able to finish off Haney, especially at round 7. You know, round 7, Haney's legs was gone. You know, it was pretty clear that the referee was helping him out. It was pretty clear that the judge was paid um, to make this a more, you know, better fight for Haney and to make Haney win. But, you know, when you're hitting the canvas 3 times, more than 3 times, you know, we know that other times he did get dropped as well. There's no coming back from that, you know, and Garcia's combination punches, you know, I just think that Garcia didn't fight the fight that he fought Haney in the past. You know, I think that Haney was expecting him to jab and, you know, try to out jab Haney and, you know, see who can win the rounds on points. But Garcia's intention was to hurt Haney, was to let his hands go, was to throw power shots, you know, and try to take out Haney. You know, I don't think that Garcia's game plan was the same from last time. Fighting each other 6 times in the past, you know, Garcia was able to change it up and Haney was unable to adapt. You know, Haney was shook up from the left hook, or left hooks, I should say. Um, the speed, you know, I understand Haney's fighting at 140, which makes him a little bit slower. You know, Garcia's speed is still there. And it was a huge difference. You know, Garcia's speed was just far too fast for Haney. The power, the speed, um, the reaction time, you know, to letting that left hand go. You know, he managed to, like I say, establish his left hook. That was basically his game plan, you know, was to take him out with the left hook. And moving forward, I mean, Haney, what is he meant to do from here? I mean, he still has the title. I don't think he should rematch Garcia. I think that he should, you know, work on his game a bit more in terms of fighting on the inside. You know, he's got to learn how to fight on the inside against guys that can punch. You know, think Fury versus Wilder. You know, Fury's a guy that was fighting him on the inside, hurting him on the inside, taking away that power. You know, trying to break him down like that. You know, he's also got to obviously focus on power, which is hard to do for him because he's not really a power puncher. But I mean, if he can steal a couple of rounds fighting on the inside, you know, he may stand a better chance against Garcia. But in this case, Garcia's power, his combinations, you know, the way that he was rocking Haney each time with that left hook, you know, and the speed, you know, Haney he just had no answers for whatsoever. So I mean, the judge definitely needs to be looked at. You know, this judge that scored it a draw. In terms of Garcia, you know, he's looking to go up to 147. Great win for him, you know, well deserved from Garcia. Um, and you know, to sum it up, I mean, I was a guy that said, you know, just before the fight, I was talking to someone and I said, hey, you know, if this guy's to win, he's gonna have to knock down Haney a couple of times, you know, because the judges may favour Haney, and that's exactly what happened. Of one of the judges, you know, he favoured Haney, and to beat the champ, you got to knock him down. You got to beat him up, and that's exactly what Garcia done. It's a shame he's not the champion. You know, he should be champ. And I mean, Haney, I think that he should vacate. Or I think that the title should be, you know, up for grabs. I mean, he lost convincingly. How is he able to stay champ? Who knows? I mean, I don't know how it works in that case, in that scenario, but I think, you know, if the champion agrees to fight a fighter and he misses weight and the title's not up for grabs, if he loses, I believe that he should still, you know, give up the title. That's just what I think anyway. Leave your take on it. Great performance from Garcia. The hand speed, the left hook, the money shot was there. He established it, got the job done, and he moves on to 147. Look forward to the comments. I'll catch you next time. Thanks for tuning in, and have a good one. Peace.